Hi everyone! For those of you who don't know me, my name's Paula, and today's practice is an exploration of movement for those who have been affected by breast cancer. Now remember that I'm not with you, I'm here on the other side of the screen, so please take agency over your body, your mind, your energy levels, and respect what's happening for you today. If your energy is low, then honour that. Don't move with so much vigour. If your energy is higher today and you feel like you'd like more exploration in your practice, then go for it. But honour yourself. If something doesn't feel helpful, back away and join back in when you're ready to. Let's begin. Okay, so let's begin with the practice. Now, a couple of things that you might like to have before we get into the movement: a blanket and 2 cushions. They're not essential, but if you have them to hand, then great. Now, throughout the practice, we're going to work with a hand mudra. So let me show you the hand mudra first. It's called Pada mudra, the lotus mudra. It's representative of our own divine light that lies within us. Sometimes that light can get slightly dampened, darkened through things that are sent to us that can try us. So it's a reminder to let our inner beauty, our inner light shine and radiate into the world around us. For our mudra, we bring the edges of the thumb together and the edges of the little fingers together. So we create a cup shape in the palms of our hands and let the rest of the fingers spread out. So we create a little lotus flower. Now through the practice, we're going to be rolling the wrists, which is beautiful for oiling into the wrist joints, but also to help move lymph from around the joint areas, lymph nodes from around the joint areas. So for our mudra, we're going to roll the backs of the hands together, then point the fingertips down and bring the edges of the thumb back together again. So let's have a moment to practice, so when we come to do it, we know exactly what we're doing. So bringing the edges of the little fingers together, the backs of the hands, and then point the fingers down, rolling the wrists together and bringing the edges of the thumbs back to touch. A couple more times. And if it's not happening for you, make it up, because I can't see. Great. Okay, let's begin with the practice. So, if you do have a blanket, it's quite nice to pop that behind your head. Sometimes when you come to lay on the mat, the chin can slightly jut up into the air. So if you find that this is happening for you, once you lay yourself down, if you find your chin is lifted up high, then take your blanket and place it behind your head so it feels soft on the back of your skull and gives you more length in the back of the neck. So come to rest and keep your knees bent. Let your knees knock together and take your feet slightly wider so there's a spaciousness in the lower back. If it feels okay to do so, close your eyes and rest your hands onto your abdomen. Soften the tongue. Soften the eyeballs behind your closed lids. Feel the rise and fall of your breath as your belly expands softly on the inhale And your belly releases softly on the exhale. Let's bring a little more focus to our breathing. Take a complete exhalation so your belly softens, your shoulders soften. Inhaling, let the belly rise. And let the belly rise and push up into your hands. As you exhale, let the belly soften and drop away from the palms. Inhaling, belly rises. Exhaling, belly softens. Stay with this awareness of your breathing. Belly rises, breath in. Belly softens, breath out. Every exhalation, an opportunity to soften the back of the body into the earth. Every exhalation, an opportunity to allow your thighs to soften towards each other. Releasing the groins. Any tension in the fingers. Any tightness you might feel around the throat. Let it go. Let the throat soften. Inhaling, belly rises. Exhaling, belly softens. Now release both hands down by the sides for you. Have a sense of the warmth of where your hands were placed on your belly. There'll be a residue of warmth. Bring your attention there. And still, belly rises as you breathe in. Belly softens as you breathe out. Now we're going to start some exploration of movement. Let's start with the right fingertips on the right shoulder. Quite simply expanding the arm towards the legs and bending the elbow so the fingertips touch the shoulder again. Keep going. Opening and closing your elbow joint. We have lymph nodes around our joints and they cluster in these areas, so it's really nice to find some fluidity and movement through the joints in our body. Now release the hands back down by the side of you. Other side, so bring the left fingertips to the left shoulder. Expand and extend the arm. And bend the elbow again, touch the shoulder. Keep going. Each time your fingertips touch your left shoulder, be aware of your touch. As light as a butterfly. Next time your arm extends, then lower the arm back down. Bring your right fingers again to your right shoulder, and we're going to start to make little circles with the elbow. So even though the elbow is circling, we're taking movement in the shoulder joint. Again, oiling, stimulating this area so these clusters of lymph nodes can start to find some ease. Now, can you circle your elbow into a small spiral to get smaller and smaller? And then reverse the spiral, so circling back out and get bigger and bigger. And you can circle your elbow, you can circle your shoulder joint as wide as feels comfortable. And then change direction again and circle back in. Let your spiral become smaller. Take your time. Now last time, circling back out. And this time as we circle the elbow outwards, let the arm expand around and around. So start to draw in mid-air the spirals with your fingertips. Again, the spiral can get bigger. And then change direction and the spiral can get smaller. Breathe as you move. Conducting a very small circle in the center. And let the hand melt to the earth. Take a long breath into the belly. And exhale through the mouth. Breathe in natural rhythm. And let's do all of that on the other side. So left fingertips to the left shoulder. Start to circle the elbow. And remember, it's all play. It's exploration of body, of mind, of our souls. So where does the mind want to take this circling? Can you spiral smaller into a tiny little circle? And then change direction and spiral larger. Breathe as you move. Now change direction. Let's do that again. As the movement becomes more familiar, last time spiraling back out. And this time as you spiral outwards, maybe the arm can start to extend and almost conducting an invisible orchestra. It might get quite large as you circle. It might might stay a little smaller. It's all personal. Whichever way you're circling, change direction. Let your spiral get smaller and smaller, till eventually it's so small you can hardly feel the movement. It's just this air of the arm waving in the air. And let the hands and the arm rest by the side of you. Take a long breath into the belly. And exhale through the mouth. Now let's bring a little movement into the back of the body, because we've been in this position for a while, so let your knees come towards your torso. You can hold behind your knees, squashing your hands between your thighs and your calves. Take a little rock side to side. And as you rock side to side, try taking the head in the opposite direction from the knees. This time, try taking your head in the same direction as your knees. So it's more of a baby's rock from side to side. Come to stillness. Extend the legs up to the sky and give the legs a little shake. And we're going to place the feet back to the mat. Now you can either knock the knees back together if you found that comfortable, or keep the knees bent. If that's starting to get a little tiresome, then extend the legs nice and long. I'm going to stay here with the knees bent and the knees knocked together. You're welcome to join me. Place your left hand onto your belly. Take a long breath in. Feel the belly expand. And a soft, slow breath out. Now starting to move your right arm. Take the arm across the body, up past the face and out to the side. So you're drawing a full circle. Keep going. Keep drawing a full circle. Go to the capacity of your anatomy today. Every day is going to be different. Now as you circle the arm, can you breathe into the belly? Breathe into your left hand. Inhale, belly rises. Exhale, belly softens. Last time. And replace the hand. Let your right hand rest to your belly and go straight to the left side. So bring the left arm across the body so it brushes past your face and by your ear, and then extend the left arm out to the left and along the thighs. Brush the fingertips across the thighs if your knees are bent. Keep going. If your knees are in this bent position, do think about touch as you let your hands wave past your legs. Let there be a soft, gentle touch, brushing the fingertips so you can reconnect with your body. When we've been through something like cancer, it's quite usual to feel a big disconnect from the body that you've inhabited for years. There's almost a sense that your body has let you down. So it's really nice to connect back by gentle touch. Breathe as you move. The last one here, and placing the hand onto the belly, both hands rested. Take a long breath into the abdomen and exhale through the mouth. Breathe in natural rhythm. Let's continue. Take your knees back into your chest again. Let's stretch out these legs. So bring your hands behind your thighs. Reach your legs up to the sky. Flex your feet, flexing the ankles, and bring them back. Point the toes, flex the ankles. Point and flex. Release the feet back to the earth. And again, choose your favourite leg position, whichever that is that you've decided on. We're going to continue with the arm movements. Now this time we're going to pretend we're taking a jumper off up and over the head. So grabbing your jumper, crossing the arms, take the jumper up and over the head and release the hands again. Keep going. Taking the jumper up and over your head and release the arms again. Keep going. Now this movement can be as wide as you enjoy, as wide as feels helpful. Now as you take off your pretend jumper, let your in-breath be expansive and open as your arms release and your out-breath softening and releasing. Two more. Let the hands rest. And we're going to continue back to the lower body so we don't get all stiff and tight in the same positions. We're going to bring the hands to the knees and take the knees away from each other and then bring them back together again. Keep going. Knees away and together. Now we're going to introduce an extra movement into this. So next time the knees knock back together again, extend the legs up to the sky, push the heels away so the feet are in dorsiflexion, spread the toes and bend the knees again. Take the knees wide. Couple of times circling the knees. Breathe as you move, and then extend the legs up to the sky again. Flex the feet. I quite like to rub my knees here. I like my knees being warm. I have arthritis in one knee, so it does feel good. Bend the knees again, expanding as we circle into the hips. Twice here,
Bring the knees back to touch. Extend the legs up to the sky. And this time we're going to keep the legs up in the air. Take off our pretend jumper and bend the knees back into the chest. Continue. Extend the legs up to the sky. Take off our pretend jumper and bring the knees back in. Keep going. The in-breath, open to expand. The out-breath, softening to let go. Last one. Bending both knees. Place the feet back to the earth. Take your favourite leg position and let your arms soften both sides of you. Take a breath in through the nose and exhale through the mouth. Now we're going to introduce our lotus mudra, pada mudra. And this is where your cushions might come in handy. So if you've got your cushions by the side of you, and luckily I have, you can place a cushion either side of your legs and use them as a support to your outer thighs as we butterfly the legs open. We're coming into Supta Baddha Konasana. Now to do this, we're going to bring the soles of the feet together. We're going to let the knees come out to the sides. Now, some of you might find that when you bring the legs and the knees out to the sides, there's going to be a pulling through the groin area, which can become quite uncomfortable. We don't want to overstretch here because it will just end up arching into our lower back, making our lower backs quite tight. So this is why these supports feel really nice underneath the thighs. If you feel okay without them, then go for it. All right, let's come into our mudra. So we're going to place our thumbs and the outer edges of the little fingers together. Rest the inner arms onto the waists as we take a breath in, extending our mudra up to the sky. Roll the backs of the hands together and bring your mudra back down to the earth. Again, inhale, expand the mudra. Roll the backs of the hands together. Bring the mudra back into place and lower your hands back to your torso. 2 more. Inhaling, the arms lift. And rolling. Exhaling, the hands lower. Last one. Now let's add on to this. Inhaling, the arms expand into your mudra. Bring your palms together. Take the thumbs to the forehead as you bend your elbows. Extend the arms back to the sky. Roll the backs of the hands together and lower your mudra back down. Let's continue. Inhaling, arms extend. Palms to touch. Bend your elbows. Thumbs to the forehead. Extend the arms back to the sky. Backs of the hands roll around. Your mudra drops in place as you lower your wrists to your ribs. 2 more. Continue in your own pace and time. Last one. Maybe the in-breath could extend the arms. Maybe the out-breath could bend your elbows, thumbs to the forehead. Your in-breath extending the arms. And your slow out-breath rolls the backs of the hands together as you lower your wrists back to your ribs. Let the arms soften by the sides. Take a long breath into the belly. Exhale through the mouth. Breathe in natural rhythm. We're going to take a little rotation. Can you take your right leg and fold it on top of your left? Butterfly the legs back open. And take your left leg and fold it on top of your right. Keep going. If you've got the cushions there, you might not move very far, but that's okay. We're just slightly lifting the pelvis. Very, very small rotation through the lower thoracic. One more time either side. So you'll end with the left leg folded on top of the right. And then butterfly the legs back open. You can use your hands to bring your knees back together and take both knees into the chest. Either fold the hands underneath between the thighs and the calves, or you can place the hands on top. A little rock side to side. Return your feet back to the mat. Pop your cushions to one side. And we're going to continue. Now we're going to move into more of a rotation. But to keep the spine in line, we're going to slightly shift the pelvis. So pick your hips up from the mat, shift your hips over to the right a little, and then bring your hips back down to the floor. Let your knees drop over to the left-hand side. Now this is where your cushions can come in handy again. So if your knees don't quite touch the earth, if you feel like there's quite a pull on the mid of your back or even in your lower back, then padding up your knees with the cushion is going to be really helpful. We're going to let the arms rest nice and easy to begin with, wherever feels good. Let your head rest anywhere. We don't want to force the head at the moment. We're looking for mobility around the mid-spine and also into the shoulder girdle. So let's concentrate on that area. We're going to start nice and simple by bringing the fingertips on the right hand to the right shoulder. We'll rotate into the shoulder joint. Create those lovely circles that we did before. Now this is where you can really start to write your own practice to what feels good for where you are at today. So if you want to keep your fingertips on your shoulder, then do. But if you feel ready to, then release the arm. Swim your arm nice and long up and past your ear and out to the side. And keep going. So we start to oil just a bit more. We start to reach just a bit more. Start to expand a bit more through the range of motion in our shoulder. Now, as you take the arm up and by the ear, you're going to start to roll out to the side. Could you open out the right side of the chest a little more to the right? as if you were trying to bring the back of your right lung towards the earth. Don't push into pain. Explore with the curiosity of a child just what your range of motion is today. Breathe as you move. Now, next time your arm comes out to the side, we're going to hold it here. I can appreciate for some of you this is going to be quite challenging to hold your arm. So this is where the other cushion comes in handy. You can rest that outstretched arm onto your cushion. We want to feel release and opening through the right side of the shoulder, through the right side of pec minor, which is just at the top here of your chest, just where the chest and the armpit meets. But if it's pulling into a burning sensation, then really think about padding up the arm. Now we're going to work with some practice of breath. So take your left hand and place it onto the base of your right lung. Take a long breath into your right side. Slow breath out. Every exhalation you take is an opportunity to soften where it feels tight, to ask the muscles to let go, release. We're going to walk the fingertips up towards the right armpit and place the fingertips into the armpit as long as that doesn't feel too tender for you. As you place the fingertips into the armpits, you're going to feel the side of your right ribs, and this is exactly what we want to feel. Can you breathe into where you feel your fingertips are? Can you breathe into the upper part of the right ribs? Hold here as you breathe. Slow breath in. Feeling a slight expansion in the upper right ribs. And a slow breath out. Releasing your left hand. Both legs back to center and realign your hips. Shift them into the middle of the mat. Take both knees back into the chest. Again, choose your hands position. I quite like this, squashing the hands underneath the thighs and the calf muscles. Take a little rock from side to side. And as you then rock from side to side, move the head in the opposite direction from the knees. Come to stillness. Place the feet back to the mat. And let's do all that on the other side. So pick your hips up. Shift your hips over to the left side and let your knees go to the right. Again, use your cushions if it feels good. Give yourself a moment to settle here. Let your arms be wherever they want to be. Now let's begin our exploration of movement. So left fingertips onto the left shoulder. Nice and easy does it. And as soon as you're ready for more, you're going to know. So let your left arm sweep down by your hip, up and round by the ear, and out to the side. Explore your range of movement. If you've had surgery on one side and not the other, then it is going to feel different. Allow yourself to be in that place of difference and know that it will change. Slow and steady. Keep exploring. As soon as you feel ready to, we're going to come to stillness, expanding the left arm out to the side. So again, you might use your cushion, placing the arm to rest. Be here. Be right here. The in-breath, your out-breath. Let's explore our breath in this posture. So placing the right hand onto the base of the left ribs. Breathe into this space, the side of the diaphragm. Every exhale, a letting go, a softening. Full breath in to the base of your left lung and a slow breath out. Now placing your right fingertips into the crease of your left armpit so you can feel the top of the left side of your ribs. You can have a little wiggle there. It doesn't always feel comfortable. Breathe into this space. The expansion of breath into the top of your left lung, the side of your left lung. It could be very subtle, or it could be quite challenging to breathe high up into this area. If we've been through surgery, when we've been through trauma, our breath doesn't always flow efficiently. So it might take a little time to feel the full movement and capacity of breathing into particular areas of your lungs. So be kind to yourself. Making this the last breath. Returning the hand by your side as you bring both knees back into center. Let's bring the knees back into the chest again. I'll pop my cushion over there so you can see. And we're going to take the legs up to the sky. Flex the feet, point the toes. Holding here. We're going to take the arms up and over the head, and maybe you can take your mudra, your pada mudra. Maybe your thumbs will come up to the floor behind you, and then bring the wrists back to the ribs. If that feels too much with the legs in the air, you keep the feet on the mat. And expand the mudra up to the sky. Take the thumbs over the head. And bring the fingertips back to the sky and your wrists back to your ribs. 3 more times. Inhaling, arms rise. Exhaling, arms overhead. Inhaling, arms return to the sky. Exhaling, wrists to ribs. 2 more rounds. Release the hands. Release the legs if it's comfortable to do so. Take a long breath into the belly. And exhale through the mouth. Lots of movements here. So bend to the knees again if you prefer the legs bent. We're going to raise the right arm up to the sky and take our left hand and slightly press on the hand as you tenderly draw the skin back towards the shoulder. Let's do that again. It's a slight pressing on the skin as you slightly drag, slightly glide the skin backwards towards the shoulder, so we're moving towards the heart. You might do the outside of that arm as well. One more. Turn the arm back by the side of you. So let that moment of interchange be there, where the blood flow starts to return to normal from being elevated up and over the head. Let's do the same to the left now. So raise the left arm, lightly press your right hand along your left arm. It's a slight press and drag, a slight press and drag towards the shoulder. So starting at the hand, nice and gently. Again, you can do the inner edge of the arm if it feels nice too. And then let your left arm slowly melt to the earth. When you're ready to, roll onto one side. Now we've been down onto the floor for most of the practice, so pad up your head, make sure you feel comfortable. Bring your knees in towards your chest. Curl yourself into a little ball so the back of the body is really open. Breathe into the back of the lungs. This gives your blood pressure a little time to stabilise. We've been down onto the floor for such a long time that your blood pressure could have lowered, so we don't want to feel dizzy when we get up. When you feel ready to push with one hand to come upright, I'm going to adjust my hair because it always falls out. So come upright. Now be as comfortable as you can in your seated position. Let's take the shoulders up to the ears, back and down and around. Up, back, down and around. Keep going. Come to stillness when you feel ready to. Let's bring our hands back into our mudra, our pada mudra. Take an in-breath as you raise the arms high. Glance up to your thumbs. As you exhale, turn the backs of the hands towards each other as your hands softly fall back down to earth. Again, inhaling, arms rise, let your glance lift. As you exhale, the backs of the hands roll towards each other. Thumbs and little fingers touch, glancing into your palms. 2 more. And the last one, let your hands rest to your thighs. Close your eyes. Soften your jaw, your tongue. Take an in-breath through the nose. And exhale through the mouth. Breathe in natural rhythm. And bring the palms of the hands to touch together. Bow your head towards your heart. And together we bow our hearts. Thank you very much.